Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we turn the page to March of 1992, where we'll be covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from March the 7th of 92. Before I throw it to Harper and ask how he's doing, big time shout out to our largest Patreon contributors monthly, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Chody, Joe Ice, good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month. Harper, let me welcome you in. And I got a bunch of 5-star reviews from Apple Podcasts, but what's going on, man? You going to get you some new Miller High Lifes? Tall boys?
Yeah, bro. Fucking $15.99, dude. Fucking 24-pack.
You got your eye on them, huh?
Yeah. They're only a month past the fucking expiration date. That's perfect for me.
Won't get too sick off of those, huh?
No.
That's when you're living the dream. Hey, did you see my picture that I posted of the Frankenberry, Booberry, Count Chocula?
Oh, yeah. I see him, bro. I see him in the store.
You got your eye on him?
Another thing, in that fucking salvage place, they got like the little the Rice Krispie treats.
Yes.
They got ones of like the monster ones from last fucking season in there.
So those are well expired.
But I pretend like they're from this season, so it's okay because Halloween just around the corner. You
But
gotta lie to yourself.
They're expired. What the hell, man?
Shut up.
Shut up. Stop breaking kayfabe, huh?
That goes to show you what the f you put in that the fake processed crap that they put in food to where it can last that long past the date.
You think?
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh, man. All right. Before we get rolling, we are waiting on Crockett, there he is. Let me see if it'll let me merge it. What's up, Crockett?
Yo, sorry about that, man.
Well, you should be.
I know. Jesus Christ.
We're just getting started.
I've always wondered, Mike, Crockett,
what's that?
What are you looking at in your picture, on your little profile picture?
Oh, that was at Times Square.
Oh, no shit. All right.
Yeah, that was just like the lights at Times Square made my face like pink.
There you go.
He's not that ugly all the time. Crockett, I was about to read the 5-star reviews that we got within the last week and a half, and then Harper was just getting into his Frankenberry, Booberry, Count Chocula, talking about the cereals. And
I gotta wait, bro, because I mean that shit could pop up all. It's after Halloween. That's when you pounce, bro.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You got your eye on it now, but you're just waiting for it to hit the clearance aisle for $1 a box instead of $3.50, right?
Yeah. I'm like that alligator just sitting there waiting for that nutria to jump in the water. I'm like, come on, motherfucker.
Who's this new broad? Carmella something or other?
What?
Carmella.
Harper. So I posted a picture in the BTT Facebook group, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. If you're a member, you know all the debauchery that goes on in there. If you're not a member in there, I'm just gonna say I wouldn't join unless you just want to be sick to your stomach all day. There's a new one. It's called Carmella Creeper, and then there's Monster Mash Remix, which I don't remember the remix one.
Oh yeah, I guess they had to add a woman one
Oh.
She's supposed to be like a zombie DJ.
So that's
All
what's
right.
going on. Okay.
Yeah, because she's got the headphones on. You
Bro,
think they
I-
would have just made the Bride of fucking Frankenstein, but what the fuck?
Okay, so that's what that is. Carmela Creeper. I never paid attention. Harper, how do you, well,
That's
I guess
a new one.
Frankenberry is a dude because Frank, although you
Right,
could,
that's the
there
pink
are,
one.
but there are
Strawberry.
females named Frankie. And, but I'm just saying, like, I would have never been like, oh, they needed to make a female one. Well, Booberry could be a male
It's
or
a
female. Like,
ghost.
yeah, but Boo is not a gender name.
Do
Like,
you see tits on the ghost, Michael?
okay.
Do you see
then-
tits on Frankenberry?
Okay. Count Chocula definitely doesn't have tits. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Get with it. Come on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
you
Okay.
progressive asshole.
It's a joke, people. Settle down.
God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Okay. Carmela.
Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. But Harper, I sent you the picture. Crockett pointed out one of the boxes was missing from the display that I saw at the store.
Hold on. What'd you send it on?
I just the only way I can send it, Facebook.
You sent it to my
Yeah,
as a
your
message?
Facebook DM. Yeah.
Okay.
So Crockett, which one was
Which
missing?
one?
You told me about it earlier today.
Yeah, where's Fruit Brute?
Yeah, where's Fruit Brute?
Yeah, Fruit Brute. He didn't make it this year.
I guess not.
Ah.
Fruit
Yeah.
Brute, Fruit Brute didn't make the card, the
Fruit took
WrestleMania
a
card.
powder.
Yeah, I mean, love is love.
For last year, he was talking about Fruit Brute because I remember he brought it up a bunch of times. Like,
That was a
Fruit
werewolf
Brute.
one. And then he used to have the mummy. I forgot what the mummy's name was, but Fruit Brute popped up, I think, in the 70s for like a half an hour, and the mummy one popped up in the 80s for like a couple of years, but he didn't last.
All right.
And the
Well, the
Monster
only-
Mash remix, it's a little bit of all of them. Oh no!
Yeah.
Look, okay, look, bruh. Okay, you want Fruit Brute, and the Mummy? They're in the Monster Mash remix.
I just noticed it.
All right.
I just
the
noticed
picture?
it. Yeah, I just noticed it on the picture.
Yeah.
You got like a little cameo role.
Yeah, Carmela Creeper.
Bruh, you know what's crazy about that fucking cereal was that in the late 80s, they had it where they tied in like the Universal monsters in with these monsters, right? Like the Frankenstein for the movie and the original Dracula, right? Well, in like the late 80s or the early 90s, they tied in the Universal monsters in with these monsters. And the original Dracula from the old movie, he's got the pentagram necklace, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Satan logo.
Oh.
So General Mills didn't want that on their box, so they changed it to the Star of David.
Really?
And yes, and this Jewish group lost their fucking mind because it makes Jews look like they're vampires. And General Mills was like, we apologize and all, but we're not going to change it. So basically, sorry, not sorry. They just kept it on the fucking box.
So it's still on the box like that?
Yeah. They didn't give
Re-
it. They're like, all right, yeah,
Like right now,
Sorry.
Count Chocula has the.
Oh, no. This was like,
Okay.
they had the picture of Count Dracula with the Universal Studios.
Gotcha.
Count
Okay.
Dracula.
From like the 50s or whatnot.
Right, from, God, it's fucking before that. Oh, that's like the 30s.
Oh.
Yeah, and he had the fucking pentagram. You're like, well, we can't have a symbol of Satan on the box, so they changed it to the Star of David.
Jesus. Jesus.
Isn't that fucked up, for real?
And yeah, and then it's even worse that they were like, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but they could just put some random star, like the
Right.
Dallas
They could have.
Cowboys
I mean,
logo or something.
yeah. So they change it and then to the Star of David, and then you know,
the Jewish groups were like, dude, you're making us look like we're fucking bloodthirsty vampires. What the fuck, bro?
And their response was, whatever, get over it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we apologize and all, but you know,
we're not changing it.
Changing the box, so.
Jesus.
Yeah, I saw it on, dude. They got this fucking YouTube video. I go down this rabbit hole called Toy Galaxy, and it's on there. The guy breaks down all of them from back in the day when the original formula that with the Frankenberry, these kids would eat it and their shit would come out pink. And their mom would rush into the emergency room. Oh my God, something's wrong with my kid. And it turns out that's what it was. It was a Frankenberry, food dyed number 15 or whatever that was in that shit was making their shit fucking pink and like the fucking cereal. So they had to change it.
Was there something recently with like the Burger King when they had that like black bun or whatever it was?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
shit,
that
colors.
Halloween thing, whatever, and it was turning people's poo black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, that was just maybe right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
because I remember us talking about it on the show. All right, well, let me take care of some business real quick. We did have 3 5-star reviews come up on Apple Podcasts, so I need to get these folks a shout out since we promise that every time we get a 5-star review. First one goes to Hog Band.
Oh,
yeah, it says best wrestling podcast ever. I've been listening to the boys for about 5 years now. It's must listen each and every week. I'm also a subscriber to their Patreon stream. The episode on Harper getting some with his now girlfriend during the middle of a pandemic is worth the price of admission. Mike is the man, Harper is the superstar, and Doc is Doc. Love these guys. Thank you, Hog Band, and thank you for being a patron. If you want to be a patron like Hog Band, go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Sign up, get access to the pay-per-view that we just did last week. All right, Guy1088, another 5-star review. He says, it's just kid stuff. Best show going today. I listened to the multiple shows done by BTT, and I have learned that Doc is the best worker in the business today. Heel/babyface doesn't matter. Forget Roman. Doc is my tribal chief.
Wow.
That's high praise for Doc. And the last one comes from Whiskey Clark. He says the title of this is awesome. He says, you guys are funny, and I love the reviews. Deep State Harper cracks me up. I got to say, Whiskey Clark, Deep State Harper cracks me up too. So if you want a shout out, just submit a 5-star review either on Podcast Addict or Apple Podcasts, and we will shout you out on air. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks to show up on my end, but as soon as it shows up, I will be sure to read it. So I appreciate all the 5-star reviews, the recent ones that we just read tonight. All right, do we need to keep talking about cereal, or do we need to talk about some wrestling tonight?
No, it's funny. It's funny. I was a little worried about, oh man, they're probably waiting on me to start the review, but you're on 30 minutes of talking about Halloween breakfast cereals. So
I'm still eating the fucking Christmas crunch. I'm eating that shit till it's fucking gone. Because every time I go there, got more fucking 77 cents a box, bro. I don't give a fuck how old it is.
77 cents.
Harper lives like he's got 3 kids.
I know.
And he can't afford groceries. So he's living on the fringe and pinching pennies and waiting until the $4.50. I'm sorry. I think those boxes said they were like $4.88 or something that I sent the picture of. He waits until they hit the clearance for less than $1. And that's when he's buying them. $4.93 for a family-sized box of Count Chocula, Carmella Creeper, or Frankenberry.
Fuck that, dude.
Dude, believe me, you don't have kids. I know.
But y'all need a Salvage grocery store.
Bruh, you can't imagine how many boxes of cereal that have been wasted in this household.
But they got fucking milk there. I mean, you'll probably go through milk like crazy, huh?
Not now. Maybe Crockett does. His are younger.
Yeah.
You go through a lot of milk?
Oh, yeah, a couple gallons a week.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You see here, you'd be great because it goes bad in like 2-3 days. So, I mean, you go through it like crazy. If you got kids, I mean, you're straight.
You talking about the salvage grocery store?
Yeah.
I don't know if Crockett trusts putting that stuff in his kid's stomach.
Come on, man. They're from Boston. They're all right.
From Boston.
What's the salvage grocery store?
This is the place he got those tall boys, the Miller Lite tall boys from.
It's a place that sells stuff that's like past its prime, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Here.
Y'all don't have those?
No.
No.
I'm sure there's.
Place, bro.
I'm sure there's.
I'm sure
one
there's something with
somewhere.
like job lots. Is that what that is?
Probably so. That sounds
Ocean
like
State
it.
job lots or something or other. I've never been in there, but.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Jesus Christ.
Highfalutin over here.
Yeah. What the fuck? Fucking Tony Khan of podcasting.
Mike is paying me well to be here today.
I never forget one of the first times Crockett did this show with us on the, the Thursday night show that we do. It was Saturday night, but it drops on Thursday night. And Harper's always giving Lance a tough time whenever he would do the show with us. Crockett's on for the first time with us. He's like, "Who's this asshole? Where's Lance?" Oh man, good times. All right, well, let's get into the review portion. It's WCW Saturday Night on TBS from March 7th, 1992. This show was taped March 3rd of 92 at Center Stage with a reported 700 people in attendance. The intro of the show, there's a clip of Sting winning or about to win the world title. And then they go to I'm going to call it a press conference. It's not really a press conference. It's Sting backstage kind of celebrating his victory.
This is old. Didn't we see this? Or something like this.
We haven't seen this. We may have seen something similar.
Someone else must have done. Didn't Luger do? Luger and Ron Simmons, they did something like that, didn't they?
Yeah, we did see. That's a while back.
Yeah.
But
I think
Sting
they called
is back.
it a victory party.
Yeah.
Victory party. I didn't want to call it what they call it now, a media scrum. Whatever the piss that's.
I hate that word, scrum. It just sounds so negative. A scrum. Oh God, you don't want to date that guy. He's a scrum. What kind of?
Like TLC
Right.
sang about that.
Yeah, I don't want no scrum. Scrum is a guy that's too old for this shit.
Sir, it was a scrub, not scrum.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so they show a quick clip of Sting's victory party and Rude approaching Sting. More on that later in the show. JR breaks down the card, what we're going to see in the ring on this hour-and-a-half edition. 2 hours if you put the commercials on it. I know that made Crockett happy. Of WCW Saturday Night on TBS. We quickly go to the first match. It is Wildfire. This is how they announce him. Wildfire Thomas Rich and Tracy Smothers versus the Freebirds. Look at the beard on Tommy Rich. Right. Ian Riccaboni's going to love this because Ian likes to tease me about Tommy Rich's chaps and vest. Do you see that scruffy beard? I mean, it's scruffy. He's looking rough.
It looks like a dollar store Barry Windham, like the Widowmaker.
Yeah. And I have to correct you, Mike. It was Thomas Wildfire Rich and Young Pistol Tracy. That's
Young
what
Pistol
the graphic
Tracy,
said.
Yeah. Young Pistol
That's
Tracy.
Yes.
Hey, there he comes.
This
And then-
right here.
This is.
All right.
Let me see if I can get away with this
What
on
the
YouTube.
fuck, dude?
Listen to the Freebirds coming to the ring.
With a combined weight of 475 pounds from Bad Street, USA, here come the fabulous Freebirds!
Oh,
yeah, my Jesus Christ, dude.
What? They're lip syncing for one.
No.
Yeah, that was lip syncing.
Jeez, from Bad Street USA to this.
Yeah.
This is their new and improved look. Remember they said this like
Is it?
a month ago? Yeah. It's like a new and improved. This is the new and improved
God, that kid's
Freebirds.
fat, huh?
Damn, Harper.
Watch.
Why are you being so mean to little kids? You shouldn't fat shame.
Look, see him in the corner? Right
Holy
there,
shit. He's 500 pounds now if he's still alive. Damn, that's wrong. You shouldn't talk like that, Harper.
No.
Whatever, bro.
You're making fun of a kid.
That wasn't a kid.
Dude, that was a big, burly kid. Oh, he got
That
some
kid
more.
probably weighs over 300 pounds, dude. I'm not
You're
even
assuming he's
bullshitting.
alive.
God, that's...
That kid's over 40 if he's alive right now.
I said, bro, people should be put in jail for fucking having the kids get that damn big, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, he might have a medical condition.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
All right.
I got one too, bro.
Let's get back to the Freebirds lip syncing and whatever the piss that was. What was your reaction, Crockett? I think I've heard it. Oh, God, that was your reaction.
Yeah,
right?
it was, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I remember they debuted at a Clash, I think, and it was
Yes.
awful then. It's still awful. It's like a dollar store version of like one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. They get the pianos going and shit. It's like, oh my God. What a fucking drop off from Bad Street USA.
Nothing screams that it's. I don't want to say this right. It's 1992. Nothing about that screams 1992.
No, nothing. The way he dresses.
All right, let's keep going. What do you have from this match, Crockett, with the Freebirds and?
Well, I wanted to ask you, and if you knew what's happening here with the Young Pistols. Are they done? Is Steve Armstrong hurt? Tracy's there. He's just wearing plain black trunks.
Bro, they don't
call him
even
Young
know,
Pistol
bro.
Tracy.
They don't. It's a shit show.
They took the belts from him rather quick because they didn't have it long, and I can't remember if Steve is hurt or not. I think he got hurt, but I can't remember. But I know he's not. This is early '92. He's not going to be in Smoky Mountain for a while, so I know that's not it. But I don't think that's it. Hey, I'm gonna Google it real quick because I did look. I did check a while back because I was like, why did they break them up? Because you're right, Tracy's out there by himself lately. Because when was the last time they tagged? Was it when they lost that match? Like after they won the belts and they didn't say anything about the belts? Remember that?
I think it was, it's when they lost to, what was it, the Firebreaker Chip and all.
Patriots,
right?
yeah. I think that's the last time we saw them on here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing. He's not gone yet. That's for damn sure.
And then why is he
still
Wildfire
around
again? It's like this is just kind of out of nowhere to me.
Yeah, no, Steve Armstrong. That's what I thought. I didn't think.
Boy.
I'm wondering if he was hurt.
If you just
I had that note.
Yeah.
He's got
Flying
hurt because
crossbody. Never mind.
I think he might be hurt because he's showing on the results. He's out for a while. Like an extended period in between during this time. What Crockett and Harper are talking about here is Thomas Rich or Thomas Wildfire Rich or whatever the hell he's going by these days. He hits a Thez press and it is the worst looking Thez press you'll ever see
in wrestling history. Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to get to it.
Here it comes, huh? No.
Yeah, here it comes.
Man.
It looked like a wet turd.
I mean, it was a combo. Like a terrible bump. There's the bump from Jimmy Garvin was horrible as well. So they didn't do each other any favors.
But Thomas Rich hits a Thez press on Garvin or Hayes. I can't remember which one. And then one of them comes in and DDTs Tommy Rich. It didn't look good. The Freebirds win, and that was that. Ugh. We go to commercial. We come back. Richard Morton is taking on Brad Armstrong, who is no longer Arachnaman. Ricky Morton, fresh off of his tag team appearance at the pay-per-view with Vinny Vegas. Yes, he tagged with Vinny Vegas at the pay-per-view at Superbrawl. And if you want to hear us talk about that, because, boy, we had some comments, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT is where you can listen and watch the video version of it. All right. Pillman joins JR on commentary during this thing, and he's got some things to say. But, Crockett, what do you have from Ricky Morton versus Brad Armstrong here?
Well, it looks like they're trying to build a light heavyweight division here. They're putting these two guys over as light heavyweight contenders, and they do a little more with them later in the show. So they're trying to, and I guess Liger is probably gone for a little bit, so they gotta get a new challenger and kind of try to build a division here. So looks like they're starting tonight. Brad Armstrong just looks like $1 million, like physically and just in the ring, looks tremendous. I have a timestamp here. I have a couple actually.
What you got?
1605.
All right.
Name this move for me.
All right. I went back to 1604.
There you go.
What would you call Ricky Morton's on the apron?
Oops.
His nuts grazed his forehead?
Yeah, kind of flying dick kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Morton's on the apron. He jumps.
The ball drop, like in New York.
New Year's Eve.
Hopper. These are the balls you're looking for. It's just kid stuff. Yeah, Ricky Morton's on the ring apron, and he jumps towards Brad Armstrong, and he clears him almost completely, but his nuts may have grazed the top of Brad's head. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, not good contact there, but I don't know what he was going for if he did hit it.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
All right, what other ones you got?
The after the match.
Okay.
I guess we can talk about the finish, and then we can talk about
match. I'll go through the finish. So Ricky Morton has a reverse chin lock on Brad, and Brad's going to fight up. Brad's going to deliver a couple of elbows to break the hold. Brad hits the ropes and ducks 2 lariats. Brad is going to hit a power slam. There's a commercial that got taped into the middle of our copy. A Life cereal commercial.
Life cereal.
Somebody changed the channel and then immediately changed it back.
I don't want to watch this fake shit. Shut up.
Right.
They start with a punch. Shut up.
Must have been Harper. He's the commercial cereal.
Brad gives a roll up with Ricky, but Ricky rolls through it and then grabs the ropes and he pins Brad Armstrong. Pillman comes in and tells the ref what happened, but Morton.
Come in.
You see that?
That's what I was going to talk about. Pillman like 1,000 miles an hour. Watch the referee as he runs in. James.
The ref's like, oh God.
What's the fetal position?
Yeah, Pee Wee Anderson's like, hold on, dude, I didn't do nothing. So Pillman comes in and he's trying to tell the ref what the hell's going on, but Morton's got no time for that, and he starts jumping and pounding Pillman and kicking him and all that good stuff and stomping like Harper just said. Morton's just putting the boots to him. It just goes on for a little while. Any thoughts on, like you said, they're trying to heat things up, I guess, in the light heavyweight division is the way you take this.
Yeah, they by the end of the show, they don't have anyone new. Just they're working with what they got. I think actually earlier they mentioned that Tracy Smothers is a light heavyweight too, so they're trying to establish a bunch of guys as possible contenders for Brian Pillman on this show. So
it's probably better than trying to make Johnny B. Bad a light heavyweight.
Yeah, they're trying that too, which
that makes no sense.
235, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was 205, wasn't it? Not the cutoff.
That was when the cruiserweight title, I think. But at this time, when they just started the light heavyweight, they said it was 235.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Was that a light heavyweight?
Right, and that's what Mark Merrill, Johnny B. Bad was saying. He's like, "Oh, I just lose about 5 pounds. I get right there." We're like, "No, dude, you're not a light heavyweight person. It's not happening. Sorry." All right, so after that, Ricky Morton powders out. So again, we're trying to do something with the light heavyweights. We go to the WCW magazine segment with Eric Bischoff. Bischoff mentions Sting defeated Luger for the world title at Superbrawl. Again, you can hear our show review of Superbrawl by going to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT and becoming a patron. Bischoff then throws
sorry to interrupt, but Bischoff says that Sting soundly dominated Lex Luger.
Well, yeah.
So they're trying to give, get over on Luger on his way out, just kind of saying that Sting dominated him, which wasn't the case, but that's what they're just trying to say.
It's just when he leaves and does the Captain America gimmick, right? At WWE.
Well, first he goes to the WBF. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's some like technical loophole, I guess, that he could get out. I think he was still under contract or something, but
because
he was able to go.
Because it wasn't a wrestling promotion, it was a bodybuilding deal, and that was the loophole. So he hung out there until he can go to the WWE.
Basically, yeah. They've lost Ric Flair and Luger over the course of a year, right? So, I mean, do you think they're like panicking a little bit? I mean, you got Sting, you got Rude. But that's two big names to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Rude and they bought back Steamboat too. But yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck that the people that they've lost throughout this time. I mean, the Flair one, I kind of can understand Luger, even though I think, just give him a little time off and bring him back. but Flair, that's just inexcusable. Like, I don't know how you let him out the door. But, he hated Jim Herd. Like, I get it. I know why Flair didn't want to be there. Because, like, we make it, like, when we talk about it, we go, oh, my God, how'd they let Flair go? But, man, Flair was tired of the bull crap. He just was like, I'm not dealing with this crap no more. I guess I get it from that point. But good point, Crockett, about what they said and how Sting soundly defeated Luger. Now we're going to go to, I said press conference, but you're calling it Sting's victory party. Right, Crockett?
That's kind of what they kept saying party. So that's,
Okay. Let's go to that now. The press was
there asking questions.
This is post-match, not in the ring or anything. I guess they're in the arena, under the stands, but here it is.
What was being said in that ring? I was ringside. You and Luger were nose to nose out there, and there was a lot of verbal abuse going on from what I could tell. What was being said at that point before the match actually got underway?
Basically, a lot of, this is it. This is the big moment, man. Are you ready? And of course I said, yeah, I'm ready. And asked him if he was ready, and of course he was ready. And then there was a little bit of bad mouthing going on, which I really don't want to talk about here right now, but a little pre-bout conversation there. You can imagine what was said.
And remember, we will show you what happened when the Dangerous Alliance crashed the party later on in this broadcast. Our congratulations also go out to Flying Brian Pillman for capturing the WCW World's Light Heavyweight title for the second time. Here are some highlights from that.
Okay, I put the timestamp wrong. I thought they were going to go through the rest of it, but they don't here. That's right. They're going to do it later.
I didn't mind that. It sounded real.
I took it as real too.
Yeah, because he wasn't hollering and making faces.
Yeah, and you remember when we were talking during the pay-per-view about how they were kind of like having a conversation before the match? Yeah. I swear to God, they needed an Academy Award for that because it looked like a real conversation. Like they were like, all right, you gonna do something? You gonna do it first? Who's gonna do whatever? All right, we've been here before. What are we gonna do now? We just gonna stand here and talk and look at each other? I don't know. I just like the way they did that. It gave it a real feel to it. Just for me.
and Luger was getting more and more upset as they were talking, and then they just started throwing hands.
They started throwing hands. That's right. We also get a name drop Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Gordy's names are dropped in the middle of this thing.
There you go.
And did you want to talk about this DDP thing too? Crockett?
I didn't know.
Was that it?
This is a little odd.
I'm gonna play it. Here it is. Bischoff's gonna throw the DDP. Hold on.
That country's top athletes. Now, rumors have surfaced that two of these stars are none other than Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Earlier this week, I caught up with Diamond Dallas Page to discuss his favorite subject, Diamond Dallas Page, and got a very interesting reaction when I mentioned K. Allen Fry's international efforts. Fans, there are a lot of rumors circulating regarding the emergence of the internationally renowned Japanese-based team of Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Perhaps we'll talk more about that later on. I'd like to catch up with Diamond Dallas Page. And Diamond Dallas Page, in your tenure here at WCW, we've seen you as a manager. We've seen you as a color comment.
Wait, Bishop, we could talk all day about DDP. That's obvious. The bottom line is I want to get back to that first question you were talking about, rumors of Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, I don't even want to get to you. I don't want to talk to you. Bring me some light up here. Get me on this camera right here. Check this out. DDP knows for a fact that Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams are coming right here to World Championship Wrestling. You know, World Championship Wrestling is hotter than ever right now, but there's something that's really starting to irritate me. These suits at the top of WCW, especially K. Allen Fry, it's all the rouge. He's trying to come off like, oh, they're not going to come. They're not going to come. Not. They're coming right here to World Championship Wrestling, and you can take it to the bank. Remember, you heard it from me, DDP.
So apparently Diamond Dallas Page is Dr. Death and Terry Gordy's advocate. I don't know.
He's got the scoop.
Yeah, it was weird, man. But they do that kind of thing with DDP during this time. There's going to be something else they do in a few months, too, I believe, with him and Steamboat or something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. And that was the WCW Magazine segment. And the last thing we get before we get out of here, Harper's going to love this.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how Ricky Steamboat told us, say no to drugs?
Oh, okay.
Well, it's time for Arn.
Yeah, this is Arn Anderson of World Championship Wrestling. A message to you young athletes out there. There are no shortcuts in this life. If you want to be a winner, if you want to be a champion, stay off the steroids. A little short-term gain for the long-term liability of losing your health isn't worth it to any of you. So whether you like me or you don't like me, take my word on this. Do it the easy way. Do it the right way. Earn all your successes, not steroids.
So the dude who helped break Dusty's arm, leg, he wants us to do it the clean way.
Don't do steroids.
We can't.
Why they all of a sudden on a steroid fucking.
Yeah, I like last week when they first did this, I started like trying to look up like what was happening at this time.
Yeah.
Was it like trying to figure out like why this kick now?
I could see like don't do drugs, but why steroids? Why that particular drug?
I don't know.
Let's be honest, how many of those kids were taking steroids watching this?
Yeah.
I mean, they were taking a lot of other stuff probably, but
yeah,
I don't know
that's
about
what
steroids.
I'm saying. More things that could kill you.
Right.
No one's ever sucked dick for Deca, Mike.
Jesus.
I always tell people that shit. No one's ever sucked dick for test. No one's ever stole their fucking mama's engagement ring and pawned it to buy a fucking test.
Harper's the expert on this stuff now. Oh man. Oh boy. All right, let's keep moving. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham are some shit kickers here, man. They about that life. Versus Chris Sullivan and John Peterson. Had a timestamp at the very beginning of this thing when Barry just delivers this beautiful lariat coming off the ropes. Really, really looked good. But I'll go to you, Crockett. What do you have from this one? It ends kind of quickly.
That looked good. That looked
different.
different.
It does.
Yeah, we got Larry Zbyszko on commentary, and the big push for this episode is the Omni tomorrow night in Atlanta. Apparently tonight at the Omni is a basketball game, and I forgot to mention this earlier. They say that at the basketball game they're doing a concert with the Freebirds.
Oh no!
It might be like the halftime show or something like that. But
on video
they said that
somewhere on fucking YouTube.
Somebody
I really want to see that.
Listening to this, find that for me. March 7th, 1992. If there's a Hawks game, find the Freebirds performing at halftime.
I'm sure the people loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, "Oh yeah, where's Dominic Wilkins? What the fuck is this?"
Right. Well, I mean, there was overlap. I mean, back then you watched TBS, you did see the Hawks and Braves. Yeah. So I mean, like, there's overlap. The problem is, like, seriously, did you really want to see the Freebirds perform?
Hey, you think they're gonna do the song they just did?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They're perfecting it.
Yeah, they're perfecting it, and they moved away from Bad Street right now. So of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Crockett?
The dulcet tones of Jimmy Jam Garvin.
The dulcet tones, as James Mitchell says.
Yes. So yeah, they're in bunkhouse attire for this match because apparently Larry Z and Barry Windham have a bull rope match tomorrow night in the Omni. And at one point, Larry says, "The girls kind of like Barry Windham, huh?" Yeah. And then Jim Ross like, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, I'm gonna make him look like James Dean after the wreck."
Oh my God.
It's just a nice little line.
Jesus. That's one of those lines that gets you fired in 2023.
Yeah. So yeah, they just like beat the shit out of these two guys, and
I thought the other guy was Manny for a second. Don't he kind of look like him?
A little.
Yeah.
A little bit.
The hair, anyway.
Yeah. I guess he must have just got back from Desert Storm.
Oh God! Don't start with that, man. Fernandez in his Manny's freaking military service.
Vietnam, wasn't it? Or you did both?
Yeah, well, I fucking might as well say it. He was in the Clone Wars too.
He'd probably tell you he served in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was in World War I as well. He fought in every major conflict in American history.
He's like the fucking Highlander.
Right. Yeah, he just lives forever. All right. We get a bulldog by Dustin and Barry Windham win the match. From there, we go to a promo. It's not a long one from Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes. And Dustin just keeps saying the word Pally during the promo. Yeah. That was my note. Did you have the same thing?
The exact same note. It's just this Dustin Pally. Yeah.
It's all he's like, let me tell you something, Pally. And here's what's going to happen, Pally. And Paulie Pally. I mean, it was just one Pally after another. He was worse than that moron friend of yours, Jaworski, Harper, with the Pally stuff. Because that's all Jaworski ever says on friggin' the Facebook group. Michael P.S. Hayes, Pally. If you want to jerk yourself off to Michael Hayes, Jaworski, go do it. And we don't want to hear about it.
At least you stop bringing up the Pirates.
Don't
Raise
tell.
the
Don't
flag, whatever.
He'll start it again if you say it, okay? Come on. You can't say it. He's going to start it. All right.
Trash now.
It don't matter. His Browns are trash too, and he's always talking about them. All right. Jim Ross throws us to the Superbrawl 2 press conference. Let's get to that. This is what we were getting to earlier when Sting was talking. But Sting is about to field a few questions from the wrestling media during this media scrum. Here it is.
Bobby Ventura here at the post-match party for World Championship Wrestling, and we're hoping that the champion, the newly crowned champion Sting, will make an appearance here at the party. But for right now, let's talk to a few of the people and see just how they enjoyed WCW Superbrawl 2. I see Tony Schiavone over here. Maybe we can get Tony in here a little bit. Hi, Tony. Tony, you're. Oh, and here comes the champ now. We'll cut this. Yeah, we'll cut this close now. We got plenty of reporters over here. I'm going to move over and try to get in on fielding some of these questions here. Follow me if you can with the camera.
Sting! Terrific match. It was a terrific match.
Thank you.
Really great.
Thank you, Mr. Fry.
Who's got the first question?
Okay, where you want to defend your title? Is it worldwide? Are you planning to go to Japan? Or
Yeah, whatever comes up first. Nothing, of course, right now has been discussed or talked about or signed especially, but I will go to Japan. The great Muda, a lot of other great wrestlers over there I'd like to defend it against, as well as a lot here. So, yeah, Van Vader, there's a few. So,
I'd like to congratulate you on your second reign. Now, how would you rate your opponent tonight as opposed to the Ric Flair who you won it against the first time in Baltimore?
Obviously, he's a much bigger, more powerful wrestler. The strongest I've ever been up against, as a matter of fact, and it was very physical in there. It doesn't take him very long to get physical and cause a lot of damage to the body. So, yeah, I felt him, believe me. I felt him a little bit more than I ever felt Flair. So.
Okay.
Sting, let me fire a question out here real quick. What was being said in that ring? I was ringside. You and Luger were nose to nose out there, and there was a lot of verbal abuse going on from what I could tell. What was being said at that point before the match actually got underway?
Basically, a lot of, well, this is it. This is the big moment, man. Are you ready? And of course I said, yeah, I'm ready. And asked him if he was ready, and of course he was ready. And then there was a little bit of bad mouthing going on, which I really don't want to talk about here right now, but, you know, a little pre-bout conversation there. You can imagine what was said.
Who's your next opponent going to be, Sting?
The next opponent, probably a few people here at World Championship Wrestling. Probably, I'd say...
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, we got the Dangerous Alliance walking in here in full force, tuxedos, the whole thing.
Settle down. Settle down. Everybody loves a party. And nobody has more reason to celebrate than you and I. You see, you've got good reason to celebrate because you're the new world champion, and I love it. Congratulations. But I've got reason to celebrate because that makes me automatically the #1 contender.
That's right.
Pour us a couple of drinks
Oh,
there,
yes,
Paul.
sir. You know I will, Rick. Anything for you. Here's one for Rick, and guess who the other one is for?
So I'd like to propose a toast.
A toast. What a gentleman.
To Sting, the new world champion, and to Ravishing Rick Rude, the man who owns the new world champion. Bottoms up, my friend.
I ain't drinking with you, pal. I got no reason to drink with you. I got no reason to drink.
He wins the world title. All of a sudden, he's too good to drink with me. You'll drink with me when I tell you to.
Oh, jeez.
You'll drink with me when I tell you to. You think you're too good? Why don't we just do it right now, then? You want a piece of me now? You want a piece of me? Cut him up, Rick! Cut him up! Cut him up! Cut him up, baby! Stop, jerk! Stop there, Mr. Big Shad! You got it! Come on! Take him down! Take him down! You got it! Come on! Come on! Take
Well, a volatile situation, no doubt about it, and I know that tomorrow night in the Omni when Sting and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat take on Ravishing Rick Rude and Stunning Steve Austin, it's going to be a war. Bell time in the Omni tomorrow night is 7:30 for that event, and fans, when we come back, our colleague Eric Bischoff will return to ringside, and he'll talk to the new heavyweight champion of the world. The Stinger is next on TBS.
All right, so a lot went down right there during the press conference. I think it's key to point out, Sting actually threw the first punch, although Rude did throw his drink on Sting. So, does Sting get a pass there? Who does Sting get a pass there, Harper?
Yeah, but you can't throw your drink at someone's face and they're gonna not respond.
So Sting is allowed to throw the punch there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I love Rude. He's such a prick. He tries to toast Sting, and he's just a complete prick. What did you think about all this, Crockett?
Well, you talk about the most important thing. The most important thing to point out is the amazing leopard print jumpsuit that Rick Rude was wearing.
Legend.
Just out of this world. And there's one part. They start brawling, right? And you see there's like one yellow shirt security guard kind of on the edge of like just standing there watching it happen like he's the referee, but not doing anything about it. And he's like he's spending a lot of time like fixing the rug underneath them. It's very, very like he's worried more about the rug than what's happening between them. And then it takes forever for then the Dangerous Alliance comes in and starts beating on Sting, and then the rest of the yellow security comes in. It's going to be coming up here in a second. There he is fixing the rug.
I think that's Rip Rogers, to be honest with you. I think that was Rip. I'm pretty sure that was Rip Rogers. Yeah. Oh
yeah, I think it is.
I think because I had a note. I think that was Rip. But the rug is getting all like crumpled up. It's he'll trip over it the way it was like rolling up on him. But yeah, that was Rip. But continue, Crockett.
That's about it. Just the fact this guy was just kind of Rip was just kind of like watching it go down for a while, but just standing there on the edge, like, oh okay, fix that rug. Yeah, but it was I felt like the whole segment, like Harper said, it seemed like real. He wasn't like Sting promo mode. He was just talking to the press and stuff like that. I think it came across really well.
Did y'all notice the gentleman in the white sports coat?
Who is that?
That's Nikita.
Shaved head?
That's Nikita.
That's who I thought it looked like.
Yeah, Nikita's
okay.
back.
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, Nikita's back. So just get used to him. It was weird because they don't really say anything, but you do see him. He delivers a couple of punches. He's helping Sting. To be clear, he's helping Sting. As the Dangerous Alliance jumps on him, he throws a clothesline at
Russian Sickle.
The Russian Sickle at Bobby, and then I can't tell who else he hits, but he is helping Sting. So just remember that.
I just missed that completely.
But they don't say it. They don't mention anything. Nothing said. It's just it is what it is, right? So anyway, from there, did you have any other thoughts, Harper, before we keep going?
No. I thought it looked good. I mean, you wouldn't see this now. Now it would just look so fucking phony.
Yeah, I thought it looked real. It looked real. It looked like a legitimate type thing. It's because it wasn't like overdone. It wasn't overdone. It was just them in the back. It wasn't like a camera just randomly caught it like you see with some of this backstage stuff now.
Right.
The questions seem to be legitimate. I mean, it's just, it just wasn't overproduced, and I think that was why it looked so good. Sting talks about the show tomorrow at the Omni that Crockett was talking about a little while ago, and then he lets out a Sting howl. Oh! And then we go to Johnny B. Bad versus a gentleman by the name of Sonny Trout. That was his name. Sonny Trout. Johnny B. Bad is making some of the ladies on the outside happy. There he is, Harper. Sonny Trout. Look at this guy.
This lady is apparently Mrs. America they put over.
That was Miss America?
No, Mrs. America. It's different from Miss America. But
so what's the Mrs.?
I guess a woman who's married, I guess. They have a contest of...
Really? Wait.
I think so.
You think that was a shoot, or you think it was just working? I'm not looking up nothing. But that's not really Mrs. America.
That's what Jim Ross put over.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of scarred because for years Teddy Long told me about all these Ebony Magazine centerfolds, and I would be thinking, oh, he's telling the truth, or he was in Jet Magazine on and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got worked. He wasn't in Jet Magazine. He's just making it up. I know, I was stupid.
Mrs. America, in a beauty competition that was established to honor married women throughout the United States.
Oh, so they gotta be married.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's all mad.
Yeah,
all right, Crockett.
Yeah. Here it is, Mrs. America. Is it still going on?
I don't know, but Johnny B. Bad just relieved his stick into the crowd. His confetti stick, that is.
The Mrs. America pageant 2023 was held on August 20th, 2022 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nicole some shit from Illinois was crowned.
Some shit was her name, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
The fuck?
Crockett, any thoughts on Johnny B. Bad versus Sonny Trout?
I think Johnny B. Bad put on her crown, which is I thought was a kind of funny touch. No, not much to the match. Just big left hook finish.
Yeah,
and then the promo afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the promo. He dominates this guy. I mean, it's no surprise, obviously. But we'll go to the promo now. Eric Bischoff is at ringside with Johnny B. Bad. Here it is.
You've been walking around with a smile on your face. I know that you're looking forward to tomorrow night. You get your shot at the new WCW World Light Heavyweight Champion, Brian Bryant.
Oh, Jack, let me talk to you. I am the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Tomorrow night at the Omni, it's going to be a blessing to teach you.
Wait a minute.
Pardon the interruption, Eric. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and start talking about Sunday night. There's still a little unfinished business that needs to be resolved. Now, Richard Gordon, I don't know how you feel, but I know what I want, and I know what the fans want, and what we want is for you and me to get it on right now. So get your butt out here and make our day.
Martin came out, flying Bryant. Shoved Johnny B. Bad out of the way. Bad to left to the body. Morton now, nailing flying Bryant. Morton now, kicking flying Bryant again. In the ribs, hitting him in the face. Here comes Brad Armstrong. The pull, Morton off. Oh, what a volatile situation involving these light heavyweights. Fans, when we come back, the unpredictable Cactus Jack.
So, if you caught all that, Pillman runs in, tells Johnny to stop talking, and Pillman says, "We got business to resolve." And then Pillman wants Morton to come out. Pillman knocks down Bad. Bad throws a lariat at Pillman. Morton starts then laying into Pillman, who's on the ground. Brad comes out to make the save. We got like a four-way feud here. And I'm sorry, but Johnny B. Bad is not a light heavyweight. Does that summarize it, Crockett?
No.
Yeah, I was just looking at them like standing next to each other. He's got like at least 10, 15 pounds on Pillman.
Yeah.
He's got more than that.
I think that eventually to do it, I remember an angle where they're like, Johnny B. Bad has to drop weight to go for the title, but I don't know if this is when that happens or not.
It was before all this.
That in the past.
It was before all this. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
he already,
okay.
Yeah, he already said, like, I don't know if it was a month or 2 months ago, right before you started doing the shows with us, while with Doc being out, he says something like on a promo, I gotta, how did he say it? I think JR was like, you gonna have any trouble dropping that last 5 pounds? I no, JR, I'll be able to drop it, no problem. And he, like looking at him like, there's no way. This dude is not no light heavyweight. I don't care how much they try to sell it. He's just too beefy. He's a big stocky dude. So it wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, he's got these light heavyweights by a lot. It's not even close. But whatever, it's wrestling, so they try to sell it. Cactus Jack takes on Terry Bronson next. JYD joins Jim Ross on commentary, and he says he was at Superbrawl because he is a wrestling fan, and then he saw what was happening, so he came in to help Ron Simmons out when Cactus and Abdullah jumped Ron Simmons. You can listen to us break down how JR was there and what he was doing and how he got involved. tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT is where we can break it all down. And that was the timestamp I had on this next match. So we're watching Cactus versus Terry Bronson. I don't know. I know what is supposed to be happening here, but Terry Bronson appears to go for a side Russian leg sweep.
Oh, no.
You want to explain what we see, Crockett?
Oh.
It goes not well.
He lands on Cactus.
Yeah, oh my goodness, they just mistimed.
Yeah, he's not next to him.
Yeah.
It looked bad. It was bad. Oh boy.
What I noticed, like Cactus Jack's theme music is like a funeral march, like the dun 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 dun.
Sure is.
And like JYD, he went to Superbrawl because he's a wrestling fan. If you're a wrestling fan, do you go to Superbrawl in a white tuxedo?
Well, no.
He had a tuxedo on and a cummerbund and everything.
Why was he in a white tuxedo?
Wasn't it a red bow tie and cummerbund
yes.
too?
Yeah. Like it's going to a Mardi Gras ball.
Yeah. And Jesse's like, what is he, an usher? Yeah. I guess it's just how you show up. Who knows? He wanted to really make it look like he was a fan, but no fans wear cummerbund, so I don't know what the hell we were doing. But yeah. Cactus is going to win this one with a double arm DDT, and then Cactus is going to pin Bronson for the win. Any other thoughts on this one, Crockett?
No, it's a pretty nuts and bolts Cactus Jack match. He doesn't do the elbow on the floor, but he does do like a front flip off the apron.
So after Cactus wins, we get another public service announcement. This time it's Brian Pillman saying stay no to steroids. So we're really leaning into the steroids and making sure
the trial wasn't going on yet, right?
No, I think it already happened. I think it was 91, wasn't it? I remember looking it up a couple weeks ago when this first came up.
WWE steroid trial. I know when it happened, but I want the exact date.
It was like 92, 93.
I want the exact date. I thought it was later. All right. Well, it was decided July 23rd of 94. So this might be why they're saying this. I mean, this is March of 92. Things can take a while to go to trial.
In 91, Zahorian was convicted.
Okay, so that might be why they're doing this PSA.
Hey, don't be like those other assholes
right.
in the WWE. We're better than them.
They, it really could be like their own.
Can't have Sting do this commercial though.
Like, I don't mean it this way, but it's going to sound bad. It might be their own version of propaganda to be like, hey, don't try to drag us into that.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're better than them.
Right. We're a wrestling organization. But look, our wrestlers even have been saying, say no to steroids. Because it's
just
like
say no.
Like you said, Crockett, it is specifically steroids. It's nothing else.
It's not, stay away from coke or don't smoke cigarettes. It's steroids.
Yeah. I remember, Harper, when we were kids, you would see the commercials because you'd see baseball players chewing tobacco in dugouts. And I can remember when I was a kid.
Do it.
Well, no, what I was going to get to was I remember seeing commercials where they were like, kids, just because you see your heroes doing it, don't chew tobacco.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I remember those commercials, and every time I say I'm going to go look them up, I always forget to go do it.
Because I remember when LSU was in the College World Series, I could have sworn I saw some of those guys with the dip can in their back pocket.
In the 90s?
No, like this past College World Series with LSU.
Okay. I got a dumb question. I mean, I feel like that's not legal, but if you're 18...
It's not. But because they banned it, remember?
I
think
didn't know
it's something that's not enforced. Because every now and then, bro, you'll see a dip can in someone's back pocket.
Harper's got the radar on that.
No, I mean you can see it right there.
Right, you can see I know what you mean. You can see the circular tin just sitting there.
It's obvious.
Right. There's nothing else that's going to be in that.
Yeah.
In that like, what else is it going to have? A pile of gum? No.
Yeah, he's got fucking bubble tape in there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. All right, let's keep moving. Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor, who are the United States Tag Team Champions, are taking on Ian Weston and, I don't know if I ever say this right, Danny Poston.
Poston, yeah.
Poston. JR shows a quick recap or talks about the quick recap of Valentine and Taylor winning the belts last week in the only match we saw.
I forgot about that. Yeah. They didn't even come out with the belts.
Okay, this is what I was trying to go back to double check. They do show them here. Watch when they're getting in the ring. Nick Patrick has got him in his hands and he's giving him. Yeah. Okay, so they got him this time. They didn't have him last week. Anyway,
so it was the Young Pistols. Then it was the Patriots.
No.
Right? They lost to the Patriot. It's all messed up the way they did it. The Young Pistols won the belts in end of January. The taping we saw, I don't have the dates in front of me right now, but the taping we saw where the Pistols were the champions, but they never came out the belts. It was aired way out of sequence. So the Pistols lost the week after they won the belts, but they didn't even have the belts with them. So then the next week, guess they have the belt. They don't have the belts still, but Simmons and Big Josh come out with the belts because they beat the Pistols. I forget, it was in mid-February, whenever. We literally never really saw the Pistols with the belts on TV, and they had them for almost a month.
Well, the Pistols, they lost to the Patriots, right?
Yeah, but it's what I'm saying. It was aired out of sequence, from what I remember. I'd have to look at the exact dates. Everybody is. That's the problem with it, because they won the belts and they never really defended them.
I mean, the Young Pistols, and then they lost them to the Patriots, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. How did it go for the Patriots to Ron Simmons and what's in Big whatever?
Well, the Pistols had them back, so I don't know.
The Pistols had them back.
They won them back.
Or I don't know if they I don't know. Maybe the Patriots didn't win them, or did they?
Face tag teams.
No, Simmons and Josh beat the Pistols for the belts. They beat the Pistols for the belts before the Pistols lost to the Patriots, and when the Patriots didn't even have the belts.
Christ.
I know, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Who's running this shit?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
When the Disney TV tapings start, those worldwide tapings in a year or two, it's going to get a lot worse.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's all out of
motherfucker.
It was all out of sequence, and I'm lying. The actual Simmons and Big Josh beat Steve and Tracy in January, but it didn't air until mid-February. It's all the whole timeline is all messed up on those belts. The mere fact that we're talking about it is proof positive of how stupid and confusing they made it.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. Valentine and Taylor win though. Did you have anything else from that, Crockett?
Not really. I mean, the job guys took good bumps and sold decently, and Terry Taylor had almost exact duplicate of one of the $1 Million Man's tuxedos. But beyond that, no.
I don't like Valentine wearing the yellow gear, man, because you think of Hogan.
Who's Hogan? You talking about Balea?
Yeah.
Knew he had one of the best gimmicks ever, Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Not Randy.
Balea.
Bro,
let me tell you something, Harper. Somebody need to tell you, y'all think you're fucking funny, but you ain't fucking funny. You think you're fucking funny, but you ain't fucking funny. You tell Mills. D-Man. I miss D-Man. I ain't talked to him in a while. All right. Well, we'll keep going. Terry Taylor and Greg Valentine are cutting a promo after their match. Valentine says, we will wrestle anyone. Doesn't matter who. Taylor says, Z-Man, Bagwell, I'm not threatened by either of them. I feel you on that one, especially when it comes to Z-Man. Cool. Well, Z-Man and Bagwell decide, bullshit, pal, we're not going to hear you badmouth us. We're going to come out. And they jump on Valentine and Taylor. And this leads to, I guess, a semi-quick little scuffle between the four guys. They fight for a while. Taylor drops a knee on the back of Bagwell's head.
Here we go. In a fight, is this something you want to do in a fight?
Is what's something I want to do in a fight? Oh, yeah.
2.
Dude, you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Tim Horner in Smoky Mountain when he tried to pin somebody in a battle royal one time.
the people that just listening to the audio, like, they're brawling. This is a brawl after a match, and Bagwell gets over on Greg Valentine and decides to go for his finisher, the cradle suplex. So he suplexes him over and bridges and just holds him there. Leaves himself wide open to get destroyed by Terry Taylor with a boot. Just let's call it a rookie mistake.
He honestly, it really makes him look bad. He looks so bad because he sat there for like 4 seconds in the bridge. Like, here's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. Yeah, he literally sat there for 5 seconds. He's got Valentine in the bridge. It's not a match, Bagwell. Nobody's counting.
Well, he's a rookie. Come on, man.
Yeah, I guess we'll give him a pass.
He still has good hair.
Can you imagine if that was Z-Man that did that? Oh my God, we would have ripped. We would have really ripped into him. Well, anyway, the heels eventually powder after Z-Man comes in, but Bagwell did look bad there. Terrible. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we got some six-man tag action. Z-Man and Pillman and Bagwell taking on Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Larry Zbyszko. Bagwell has his neck wrapped with a towel as if he just had a bad neck injury. Well, he did in that last little scuffle, so that's why he's all bandaged up. So give him kudos for selling the neck after what we just saw. I will go to you, Crockett, and ask you what you got from this one.
I mean, yeah, they came across his neck off the top rope at the end of the brawl there. So Bagwell is he came up for the match. The match was already booked, but he's kind of worse for wear, just hanging out on the apron for most of the match. What else?
They do a whole lot of stalling at the beginning of this thing. Like it's like 5 minutes and before they even do anything. Then Arn tries to shake Pillman's hand. My big note was like, it was almost like they were trying to stretch the episode at this point because they're like, oh, we got the time to fill. Go out there and waste like 5 minutes. And they literally went 5 minutes before they touched each other after the introductions.
Yeah.
Just ran around the ring a little bit.
I was doing some just some Googling on Z-Man as I like to do usually a couple times a week. And Z-Man, did you know like in the late 90s he was like a big deal on like everyone loved he would do like radio interviews with Meltzer and stuff like that, and he would just like bury people.
No.
That's awesome.
You hear anything about this?
Kind of like a shoot like interview before.
Yeah. Meltzer had Meltzer had like an internet radio show in like the late 90s, and he would have Tom Zank on, and Zank would just kind of like bury people and talk about taking steroids, and he'd talk about just anything, and people loved it. Yeah, there's like a website that has a bunch of quotes from.
That's fantastic.
From Tom Zank doing all these basically shoot interviews with Meltzer.
Ben Martin, email me. I know you probably know about this. That's tremendous. I want to know more. I really do.
Yeah, if you just Google like Tom Zank Meltzer, and it'll probably come up. There's like a whole website that just has quotes written down. I found one, but it's not actually Z-Man. It's Missy Hyatt talking about how Tom Zank is the one man I wish I would have slept with.
Oh.
He's one of her top 10 in regrets.
That's fantastic.
That's nice.
Said Tom Zank is the hottest guy, the best body, a great worker, but I mean, just his face, and he was smart too.
Wow.
Looks like the assistant manager at fucking Applebee's at like bartends there, and he's banging the fucking the fucking greeter chick.
The hostess.
Yeah, he's banging a hostess by the fucking front door.
Just the hostess?
Yeah, and he drives a fucking Camaro.
Of course.
Yeah.
That smells like Marlboro Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. Well, the match ends when we get a hot tag from Pillman to Bagwell, but Bagwell's got a hurt neck. All 6 guys are brawling in the ring. Eaton hits Bagwell with that stun gun finisher across the top rope. And remember, Bagwell's got this hurt neck, so it injures his neck some more. And Eaton pins, I think it was Eaton who ended up pinning Bagwell. So Bagwell, Arn, and Larry Zbyszko all get the win here. They gave him a lot of time. It was kind of slow, but picked up at the end, but the heels win. No shocker there. From there, we go to Rick Rude, who's taking on a gentleman by the name of Norman Rowland. Rude says, cut the music, and he cuts another glorious promo on the Hillbillies in center stage. He calls them penny paycheck peons. It's classy.
Well, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah, I want to pause it. Look at this guy, Harper. What do you think about him?
Man, he looks like Joe Dirt.
Roland Norman. Or Norman Rowland, I should say.
Norman Rowland.
He's got a red, it almost looks like a red wife beater, huh?
Yeah.
Almost want to be a wrestler.
Can you still say wife beater shirt? Or you got to call it an A shirt? I don't want to get in trouble.
Say what you want, Mike. It's a free country.
No, I mean, I'm not. I'm just, I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speak appropriate. Anyway, this guy looks funny, man. No, it's a singlet. It's
my God.
Boy, Rude beats this guy's ass. Mike Pyle drives him.
Pyle drives him 5 seconds in. Yeah.
5 seconds in, swivel hips. We get a little dick dancing here from Rick Rude. Rick Rude's gonna hit the Rude Awakening and win this one. Any thoughts, Crockett? He ain't playing with this guy.
No, yeah, there's really nothing to get into. Like you said, pile driver, like seconds into the match, then Rude Awakening, and that's it.
Yeah, Rude is not being paid by the hour here. That's for damn sure. From there, we go to a promo. It's Rick Rude, Paulie Dangerously, and Steve Austin. Let me cut to that, and we'll give this a listen and respond on the other side.
Dangerously, stunning Steve Austin, and ravishing Rick Rude. And Paulie Dangerously, perhaps you heard the comments from Sting a little earlier. You know, last time there was a party following Superbrawl. It was to honor the newly crowned World Heavyweight Champion. But there's going to be another party. This time it's at the Omni tomorrow night. And Sting and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat are inviting the Dangerous Alliance.
You know, I hear a funeral's kind of like a party, too. You know, Ricky Steamboat thinks I'm a ninja. Thank you for the credit. I guess that makes me an athlete. Sting wants revenge. He wants to avenge the beating that he suffered at the hands of Rude and Austin, a fight which he instigated at his own party. Now, K. Allen Fry says, okay, everybody here at TBS wants a Dangerous Alliance dealt with. There ain't a damn thing that K. Allen Fry or WCW can do tomorrow night to save Sting and Steamboat, because it goes like this. For 14 weeks, Rude and Austin have done nothing but play with you. Tomorrow night in the Omni, they finish you off for good.
Shut up, man. You know, I offer Sting and Steamboat some advice. When you show up at the Omni to wrestle the United States Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, and you show up to wrestle the World Television Wrestling Champion, don't expect a wrestling match. You guys better come expecting an all-out war. You know, if there's anything Sting should have learned from the incident that took place at the so-called victory party, it's the fact that ravishing Rick Rude and the Dangerous Alliance don't need an invitation. So don't be expecting an RSVP. And though your face makeup can hide the contusions and your lies can cover the truth, tomorrow night, Steamboat, Sting, when we step into the ring in downtown Atlanta, GA, in the heat of the Omni, the four of us are going to have to face reality. And the reality of the situation is that Ravishing Rick Rude, Steve Austin, and the Dangerous Alliance cannot be stopped. Bye-bye.
You heard it. The party's on tomorrow night at the Omni. Jim Ross will be back right after this.
I mean, Rude's doing a hell of a job of talking people into the building for tomorrow at the Omni. When you're talking about a live show there, but what'd you think, Crockett?
Oh yeah, he's fantastic, and I love Austin's non-Texas accent.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What happened?
He just, it sounds very vanilla. Just trying to take out the Texas from his voice there.
Taking out the Texas twang.
Yeah, but it's good
line. He says, Rude tells Sting, your lies and face paint can hide a lot, but it can't hide the truth.
Damn.
That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. This show has actually been a good one. I thought it was a pretty good episode of Saturday Night, but boy, they end it with Van Hammer taking on Steve Austin, the world television champion. Rick Rude is on commentary with JR. At one point, JR says, "Don't you get tired of the things that come out of that mouth?" And Rude says, "A lot of important things come out of that mouth."
Oh, come on.
Okay, Fabe. Settle down. Anyway, I can't with Van Hammer. I think we know that by now. This guy can't wrestle. He's in there against a guy who can wrestle. And Steve Austin does all he can with him, but the dude can't wrestle. He looks like $1 million, but he can't wrestle. Crockett, any thoughts on this shit?
Yeah, I think the star of the match was Rick Rude on commentary. He was great, like shades of like when he does an ECW later on. But I mean, Austin is only like 3 years in here. He just looks crisp and seasoned. It's like, how do you let this guy go in like a year or two? Like, any credit you give Bischoff for like what happened in the late 90s, you got to kind of weigh it against the misses here. That like, how you let this guy go?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does he get fired? Seriously.
Yeah. But speaking of Rick Rude on commentary, I have a timestamp at 1:20:01.
All right, 1:20:01. I'm gonna play it. I'm at 1:19:55. So here we go.
And take him off his feet. Now's where the experience comes in, Ross.
I found it somewhat hard to believe that Dangerously is not admitting that he was the ninja at ringside during your match last Saturday at Superbrawl with the Dragon.
Are you admitting he was the ninja?
Austin's on the videotape. We have tape of it.
Was he the ninja? Did you see him out at ring as the ninja?
I saw him in your locker room in what looked to be ninja attire.
If he would have had my mother's dress on, would it have meant that he was my mother?
Well, of course not.
We were having a ninja party.
Well, that must have been a special situation.
Look at Steve going to work on his big...
This dude, like, all seriousness, he was the star on commentary. He would have had if he would have wanted it and would have lived, he would have had a career as a heel announcer.
Yeah, he's good in ECW too.
Yeah, he really could have. I mean, I know he, what he did, I guess post wrestling, but I get it. I mean, like, into the mid 2000s, I could have seen him on a microphone because he just had the gift of gab with his ability to talk and come off as a prick. Like, he's not like Jesse, because Jesse can be over the top. I don't think Rick Rude's over the top. I think he's just matter of fact prickish.
So there was a ninja, and then Paulie attacked him or something and took his and just took his clothes.
I mean, that's the presumption, but there's never any evidence of another bot, like someone else.
Yeah, so where's the other ninja at? Like, where's the real ninja?
Well, if you find them, you let us know, because 31 years later, I ain't never seen no other ninja.
Jesus.
I'm gonna guess we're not gonna see the ninja back with Ricky Steamboat. This is a short-term thing just to get.
Yeah.
I guess he went back to the Ninth Ward of Asia.
You went back to Japan, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you this. Whoever that was dressed as a ninja, like on those Saturday Night episodes, was not Paul Lee, because in that episode, the ninja chased Paul Lee.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Crockett? Remember one of those?
Right.
So we know that was not.
Where's she at?
That was probably just some enhancement talent dressed as the ninja.
He's
The
probably
ninja
at
was
Saki
nothing but a
Cafe
prop.
right now.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Mike.
What did you say?
He's probably working at Saki Cafe.
You are
That's why
an
he's
asshole.
not here. Y'all have those? No. Huh?
Grow up.
No.
Yeah. So the ninja, nothing ever comes of the ninja. The ninja disappears, and but you heard Rick Rude, they were having a ninja party. Jesus.
Yeah.
Grow up. All right. What else? Any other timestamps, Crockett?
No, just a match. They got through it.
Yeah. So Hammer thinks he's about to win is a note that I have. He pops Paul Lee, who was on the ring apron, and then Austin sneaks up and hits a stun gun and drops Hammer across the top rope. So Austin's going to end up winning by pin. Rude comes in and he's going to put the boots to Hammer. Here's where Van Hammer pops Austin. Steamboat and Sting hit the ring to help, and we go off air just as the shit's hitting the fan. Now, I wanted Harper to see this. There's a stun gun. 1, 2, 3. As they're going off air, so the shit's hitting the fan, they're going off air. Literally, this was just ironic to me. There it is. They're going off air. There's a Terminator 2 commercial for the Game Boy game.
Game Boy, yeah.
Right. And I immediately thought, wow, this is amazing. As we go off air, we see a commercial for Terminator 2. And here we are in 2023 and wondering if AI and the machines are about to take us down for real.
I mean, eventually, we're all going to be screwed.
Yeah.
For real.
We're all going to be dead. So anyway, that's how the show goes off air. So you guys know how we do it. We need to rate it, hand out some Rolexes. Before we do that, Crockett, did you have anything from the finish of Van Hammer and Austin?
No, it was merciful. It ended.
So again, before we rate it, hand out the Toot Toot Award by Arn Anderson. Become a patron, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Great way to support the show. You get tons of extra content. You'll get the Superbrawl pay-per-view we just did, plus all the other pay-per-views we've done, dating all the way back to 1987 in WCW. Plus you'll get the World Class shows, the ECW shows, the NWA Power shows. All of it is available on Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And Sean Sparks and I wrapped up, along with the Little Fella Half Pint, wrapped up this season's Dark Side of the Ring a couple of weeks ago. The last episode was the Marty Jannetty episode, where Vice and Dark Side killed the territory with that episode. And that's that. So you can get that.
Yeah, that was shit, huh?
Don't get me started.
Worse than Abdullah?
What a head case.
Not worse than Abdullah, but I'll say this because I said this in the show. It was a teaser. The dude says during the show, Marty Jannetty, that is, he's got a black cloud over his head. He's like, man, Shawn Michaels can step in shit and come out smelling like roses. Me, always got a black cloud. If it can happen to me, it's going to happen. No, you don't have a black cloud over your head, you idiot. You make bad decisions. You go to strip clubs and you snort cocaine off of strippers' asses. And you walk in there with cocaine. And you do crack. And you hang out with strippers who do that. You don't have a black cloud over your head. You make bad decisions. That's
as long as you don't do steroids, right?
Best. What's that?
As long as he doesn't do steroids, right?
Yeah, that's
Do a
right.
lot of other stuff.
Thanks, Arn.
So yeah, tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. Get access to that one and all of our Dark Side of the Ring reviews from this season. What were you about to say, Harper?
Your girl said it best. Yeah, they got a black cloud over your head, but you pull it around with a fucking leash. Tell me those fucking women in that thing. Jesus Christ. Marty Jannetty, St. Louis girl. I was sitting here watching with Tiff. He's like, she says, she looks like the witch from Game of Thrones. And I was like, what? And she looked it up on her phone. I was like, holy shit, she does look like her.
Dude, they said something in the episode. We didn't talk about it during the review, but she was like, I went to a show. I was in middle school, and Kerry Von Erich was my favorite wrestler, but Marty Jannetty was on that same show. And me and Marty Jannetty became boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm like, you said you were in...
she was in middle school?
I was like, you just said you were in middle school. So here's the thing. There had to be a weird jump cut in the edit. There had to be. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt here. There had to be a weird jump cut. Because, Crockett, you know how these things work. They splice and slice things up where, you know, there may have been 30 seconds cut out after she said that where she explained it. But they need to cut it down due to time. So, but it was just a weird cut. I'm assuming that they made. Because I'm like, how did you go from middle school, Kerry Von Erich was your favorite, to dating Marty Jannetty while you were in middle school? It was a very, very strange cut they made, I'm assuming. And then she ended up being like his forever girlfriend. Very odd. Again, we talk about it. We talk about all this nonsense and stupidity from that episode. tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. The whole thing with him, did he kill a man? All that stuff. tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. We break it all down there.
Did they talk about they talk about Chuck Austin?
I don't. The guy that sued him.
The Rocker Dropper too.
Yeah. I forgot his name. When you said it. Yeah, they did. They go over the court case.
Okay, good.
I remember seeing that back then on like Current Affairs.
Yeah, like Inside Edition.
Me too.
Like that, yeah. Well, it's like, oh my God, look at this. Guy's paralyzed.
You're gonna tell me you knew that guy?
No.
I'm talking to Crockett.
Oh.
No. The name is stuck in my head for
the
some
case.
reason.
Yeah. They went over the case, and Marty made it seem like, well, Marty, I got to take his side on it. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, the guy took the wrong bump.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy just dove head first. I shouldn't laugh.
Do that? No, you can't.
Yeah, he just went head first into the ring. Huh.
Be on TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on TV. Hey, I can do the move. Be on TV.
I love
All
how
right.
like you just keep going, and then Shawn Michaels comes off the top rope and just fucking pin him. Like, yeah, sucks to be you.
Dude was dead, man.
Yeah.
He's just like laying there, fucked. And they drag him to the spot where Shawn can come off the top rope. It's really hard to watch. I'm laughing, but it was terrible. He's like, oh my God, this guy. He's like, this guy's just paralyzed right there, and they're just dragging him. They're doing the one thing you shouldn't do to somebody with a neck injury.
Yeah.
Grabbing him and dragging him.
You shouldn't have gotten the ring.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rolex, I'm sorry, Toot Toot Award and ratings time. Crockett, I'm going to throw to you first. What are you going to rate this one?
Well, it was a 2-hour episode. That takes it down a notch. So
all right, Doc.
that's my rule here, right? So I would probably give it maybe a B plus. I guess I have to drop down to a B.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a B plus too. I thought it was a pretty good episode, but I'm gonna go B plus. What about you, Harper?
Plus.
Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?
This is one step away from being an A.
Yeah, it was not a bad episode. I mean, we got all kind of like stuff. They had the follow-up stuff from the pay-per-view. I mean, it was good. Like, you know, think about the press conference, and they didn't like leave things like, it wasn't like a lame duck episode that you see sometimes after these pay-per-views because of the way they tape them and timing and stuff. So I thought it was good. Like, I mean, I could have given it an A, but it felt like it went a little long, and then I can't give anything an A that Van Hammer is in a 12-minute match on. Sorry. Not happening.
In the main event, yeah.
In the main event against Stunning Steve Austin. Just, it's not happening. So, yeah. What are you giving it, Harper?
A B.
All right.
B minus. Yeah.
Well, now it's time for the Toot Toot Award. My Toot Toot Award is going to go to none other than Rick Rude because he deserves it.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
Between the press conference angle, between his promo, and then the commentary. I mean, he was the star of the show for sure.
Yeah, he was the star. Who are you giving yours to, Harper?
Yeah, Rude.
Rude
for the whole brawl.
So on that note, I want to remind everyone, Harper is still doing the life advice, relationship advice, shout outs, his own very own videos where he shouts you out. All you got to do is email him to chrisharper16 wildcat with a K at gmail.com. That is chrisharper16 wildcat with a K at gmail.com. And then PayPal him $20 to CC303. What is it? I'm losing my spot. 88cc at yahoo.com. CC30388cc at yahoo.com. PayPal and $20. Did you get that one done that you had to get done for like 2 weeks?
No.
Oh, come on.
He goes, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Something happened. I was like, all right, dude.
What?
Yeah, I forgot what he told me.
Did he pay you for it?
No.
Oh, he didn't even send you money.
Huh?
He didn't even pay you for it?
No. I don't think that, no.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
Hold on, God damn it.
Oh,
I don't think he did. No.
Okay, well, yeah.
No.
Yeah, you got to pay Harper before he does the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I was trying to think of the old saying. Payment is due upon services or whatever. I forget how it goes. Anyway. All right. Well, Harper, anything else before we get out of here tonight?
No, let's go.
All right. Crockett, anything from you?
No, I'm good.
Good stuff. Fun episode. Not sure when Doc's going to be back. I'll talk to you in a second about that, Crockett. Harper, hit the tagline. Let's roll.
Book it, bitch.